Hey, happy Saturday, everybody. Excited to be here today. Today, I want to tell you something that I never expected to ever say. The most powerful leadership lesson that I've learned came from a toddler who's still learning how to talk. My grandson Joseph is on the autism spectrum. He's very minimally verbal, full of curiosity, and one of the most intelligent humans I've ever known emotionally. See, he doesn't use words, but the way he moves through the world, the way he looks at you when he wants your attention, the way he waits, not because he's unsure, but because he wants to know if you're really there with him. It's taught me more about leadership than any book, any mentor, or any business success that I've ever experienced. So today's live is a little bit different. This isn't going to be a play-by-play tactical walkthrough. It's not about revenue systems or team meetings or how to delegate better. I wish it was, because that's way easier for me. Today is about emotional leadership and rhythm, about presence, about leading in a way that creates safety, not just strategy. And it's about the tool that finally helped me lead that way, WaveMaker. So let's talk. A little while ago, I was deep in the grind. Our revenue was trending the right way. Our team was starting to grow. Our client load was pretty good. We were expanding, and I felt completely underwater. Not in a panic, not falling apart, but functionally unavailable to the people that I cared about the very most. Every day was a stream of check-ins, decisions, strategy pivots, text messages, fire drills, and even meetings. And every minute felt like a choice between progress and peace. And I kept choosing progress, right? Until one day, I was in my home office, the door was closed, my messages were going crazy, phone was buzzing, and I was doing what so many of us do. I was just holding it all together, right? And Joseph, he's under 3 years old, he walked up to the door, didn't knock, didn't cry, didn't speak because he doesn't do that a lot. He just stood there, waiting, looking, being present. And I didn't recognize or see him at first. But when I did, my whole body sank, especially my heart, because I knew exactly what was happening. He wasn't asking for me for a toy. He wasn't hungry. He wasn't in distress. He just wanted to be with me. Not the distracted me, not the halfway available me, not the version of me that was always looking past him into a problem that I hadn't solved yet. He wanted the real me, the present me, the leader, the protector, the one who shows up with clarity and peace, not just decision-making power. And in that moment, I couldn't give it to him because I had nothing left. That moment haunted me, but in the best way, because it cracked something open in me that I had been avoiding. I was doing all the right things as a leader on paper, but my energy was off. I was building something incredible for other people, but the people that were closest to me were experiencing a version of me that was always preoccupied. So that day I realized something that changed everything. Leadership isn't about how clearly you communicate. It's about how fully you're present. And that presence can't be faked. It can't be powered through. It comes from a deep place of internal rhythm, emotional steadiness, and clarity about who you are and how you want others to feel around you. And in that moment, Joseph reminded me, people don't need you to be perfect. They need you to be steady. Now, here's what I've seen over the past 2+ decades working with business owners and founders. Most of them are excellent at solving problems. They're brilliant at strategy, and they're super generous with their teams. But they lead with emotional inconsistency. It's not because they're unstable, it's because they're overloaded. One day they're energized and super inspiring. The next, they're short, closed off, reactive. Then they start to feel guilty, so they overcorrect the other way and they go soft. They avoid confrontation. They let the standard slip. It's not a character flaw. It's what happens when you're leading with a rhythm that protects your emotional energy. Your team doesn't know what version of you they're going to get. And that inconsistency doesn't just confuse them, it makes them hesitate. So they stop bringing feedback. They stop initiating stuff. They start waiting for permission, for mood, for tone. And then suddenly you're surrounded by people who are super technically capable, but emotionally disengaged. And that's why people leave jobs. That's when I knew I needed to do something different. Not just a mindset shift, not a journaling practice, not a motivational reset. I needed a full operating system that helped me lead with emotional consistency. And that's when WaveMaker was born. See, WaveMaker is part of the Leader's Evolution system. It's not just another course. It's not a set of ideas. It's actually a library of 105 leadership traits interconnected, each one designed to help you lead with emotional clarity, patience, and strength. Now, these traits aren't philosophical. They're practical, they're powerful, and they're immediate. It's things like how to lead without apology, like showing up with steady conviction instead of over-explaining or minimizing your decisions. It's about things like creating psychological safety, giving your team space to speak honestly without fear of shutdown or shame. Things like holding tension without breaking trust, being able to challenge someone and maintain connection at the same time. Each trait has a definition, a breakdown. Then it has a structure, a framework that you can go and apply that week, a real-world example of how it shows up in your business and in others. It's like an emotional operating system for leadership. And WaveMaker doesn't change who you are. It helps you lead in a way that aligns your strength with your empathy. And when you do that, everything changes. So let's stop pretending that emotional intelligence is just another tool in the toolbox. It's essential. If you want retention, culture, innovation, loyalty, accountability, buy-in, you need to lead in a way that makes people feel safe and inspired. Now, that's not soft. That's strategic. And your ability to read the room, regulate your own energy, and even hold space for challenge and care at the same time, that's what separates average leadership from extraordinary leadership, my friends. Now, I've seen founders turn around entire teams, not by changing their compensation plans or hiring a whole group of new people, but by learning how to be experienced differently. That's what Joseph taught me. That presence is leadership, and that rhythm matters way more than charisma ever can. That people remember how you made them feel and whether they could count on you to hold that feeling with any level of consistency. And WaveMaker gives you the traits to make that real every single day. Let me tell you about Anna. She runs a boutique retail operation. She's got 14 team members, a physical storefront, and an online store. And she had a ton of heart, super passionate. Her team loved her, but things were just stagnant. They were moving. Decisions stalled. Accountability slipped. And her team, super hesitant. So when we were talking, she said, I feel like I'm leading with urgency all the time. I'm trying to be clear, but I think I'm stressing them out. Now, she wasn't wrong about that. Her tone, her pace, her presence, it was sending signals she didn't mean to send. So we started with 5 WaveMaker traits. We didn't change her org chart. We didn't redo her SOPs. We just helped her become more emotionally clear, consistent, and calm. And by week 2, her team was starting to initiate again. Week 3, her fulfillment manager reorganized the entire back-end process without being prompted or asked. And by week 4, Anna actually took her first full day off in 3 months, and her team didn't miss a beat. This time, she said, I used to think I had to show up big to lead well. Now I know I just have to show up the same way every time. That's emotional rhythm. That's what WaveMaker is designed to create. We said earlier that Joseph doesn't speak much, but I've come to believe that that doesn't mean he doesn't communicate. His presence, his steadiness, his patience, that is communication. And really, it's the more powerful than most of the things that I've said in meetings that I wasn't emotionally present for. His life reminds me of this truth every day. People don't follow information, they follow rhythm. And if your leadership has rhythm, if your emotional tone is consistent, clear, and trustworthy, your team's going to rise with you. They'll take risks, they'll speak truth, they'll lead up, and they'll bring their full capacity forward. WaveMaker has helped me become the kind of leader I always wanted to be, not just in business, but in my home. The kind that's steady, the kind that's clear, the kind that doesn't need volume to create movement. That's the leader that Joseph sees now. And I'll spend the rest of my life doing everything I can to honor that. So listen, if something in you is stirred right now, if you've been leading on fumes, if you feel like your team is good but hesitant, if your emotional bandwidth is totally maxed out and your presence is starting to wear a little thin, you don't have to push harder. You need an operating system that honors the kind of leader you want to be. That system's actually waiting for you right now. It's inside of a free training that I put together. It's called the Founder's Glue Trap. It's like a 50-minute training. I walk you through the full structure, including EMI for decision relief, ISTS for systems clarity, ILS for team ownership, and WaveMaker, the rhythm that changed my life. You can access it right now. No delays, no waiting, pinpointwebinars.com. There's no cost. There's no pitch wall to get through to get to it. It's just clarity, structure. This is what I wish I had 10 years ago. It's for leaders who are done surviving and are ready to lead with peace and power. So go there now. Watch it today. Let it shift something in you. pinpointwebinars.com. I'll see you on the inside. And to my best buddy, Joseph, thank you for showing me what real leadership feels like. Let's all try to lead like that. I'll see you guys next week.